So the message I have for people today is to be more aware of your conscious and be conscious of your subconscious. Because everything that is consuming your thoughts, that is consuming your mind, that is the reality you will project to yourself. I was thinking this morning and I was thinking last night that when I came into this consciousness and realized the divine truth of the universe and how life is supposed to be, and that we are experiencing a false perspective of life. When I came into this realization, I wanted to get home so quickly to tell my loved ones and tell my friends and the people close to me that, look here, I just realized this and I just came across this and this is how things should be and this is how we should live and this is how we should eat. And the more I did that, the more I alienated people from me, and the more I realized that I'm alone in this way of thinking, and almost to the point of where you feel depressed and stressed. And this happened now for let's say 2 years back, and the longer I found myself in this state of mind, in this frame of thinking, on this level of frequency of thought, the more I realized that people don't want to hear this, and it is not their time yet to wake up, and that these teachings and these messages, that if you share it with them, goes against their beliefs, and almost to the point where it makes them feel uncomfortable, and it makes them even get angry, because you are trying to take things away from them, things that they are emotionally attached to, if it be physical things, if it be cultural, if it be religious, if it can generally be the societal way of thinking, which is a program in itself. But as I realized this, and as time went by, it became clear that it is not my job to force people to see life the way I see it. It is not my job to make people believe what I believe in. It is not my job to wake up people, but it is my job to spark people's mind, plant a seed, and share the message. As the old saying goes, you can take the water, the ox, or whatever to the river, but you can't make it drink. And it old as a cliche as that sounds, that is basically what life is, that each and every one of us will awake a certain time in their lives after they have experienced their portion of societal experience. And as I'm still on this path of getting to know myself, studying myself, only to master myself, I realized that even in this state, it is very difficult to detach yourself from certain detachments which no longer serves you. You need to detach yourself from that which no longer serves you mentally, even physically as well. Because whatever is conducive to your way of thinking, it will automatically show in your physical form. In whichever is not conducive to your way of thinking, to your frequency of thoughts, will also show in your physical form, as the mind and the body should be balanced as one, as it is one. As your body is only an extension of your mind, and your body can only be as strong as your mind is. So as I came into this realization, and I saw that, look here, Franco, even you yourself, you tell the people these things, and you know how life should be and how you should live it. And even then, life is still happening to you, where challenge is still put in front of you, and lessons is still there for you every day to learn from. So instead of focusing on other people and trying to help them, I decided to put more focus on myself, and I decided to put more focus in the things I put into my mind. And to my astrological energies, I've realized that I am a person that is intrigued and have the urge to always gain knowledge, especially when it is in the region of occult, philosophical, religious, or just things that seem weird to the masses, to those people out there we perceive to be normal. When you come into this frequency of thought of the Christ conscious, when you realize what is, and what is supposed to be and what is not supposed to be, you will be faced with those attachments yourself where you need to detach yourself from. And then and only then will you realize and you will feel, heck, this is not so easy as it seems. As first, what you need to do is detach yourself from certain foods. And food is one of the main food is one of the main things in the lives of people. And whatever you do every day, the outcome is for you to eat. The outcome is for you to feed those that depend on you. So first what you need to do, and what I did, is to change my diet. Mostly because why? You're gonna have to respect all forms of life. And by eating an animal that died under stressful circumstances, you are actually taking that DNA of that animal and altering your own DNA with consuming that animal. And by altering your own DNA, it will play out as a protein which will be seen in your actions, in your way in communicating, and you will even experience it in your dreams. You will experience confusion and you will experience dis-ease in your body. Dis-ease, as we call it, disease. So I decided, look here, I'm going to change my diet. I don't eat animals anymore, so I left that. Next thing was taking substances that is not conducive to your health. Namely, everything that we do in order for us to have a nice time. So I decided against it, right? I left that alone as well. And then again, it was all the other stuff that society is pumping into our reality by toothpaste, by genetically modified foods, by putting fluoride in your water, fluoride in your toothpaste, fluoride in your food, all kinds of colorants and all these things. All these things have an effect on your body, have an effect on your pineal gland, in turn having an effect on your mind. As I said, your mind and your body is one. So in order for these hidden characters to control the human race, they need to control the food source of the human race and whatever other intake there is for the human race. And so if they can alter these intakes and these food of the human race, which goes to your bloodstream, into your stomach where most of your blood is, automatically it mixes up with your bloodstream, it mixes up with your DNA, and in fact alters your DNA, which in turn alters your action and reactions to life. So that in itself, I decided, look here, I don't want to do that. The more I researched into that, it became apparent and it became clear that, geez, we are under attack, we as human beings, mentally and physically, and not from these guys you see outside, the police, the gangsters, abuse of father, abuse of mother, all these kinds of weird people outside. Even they themselves, they are victims of these actions of the lower self. We call these people the lower self as they are in a low vibrational thought frequency where they disconnected from the source, both mentally and emotionally, where they don't have any empathy, they don't have any sympathy. So what they perceive to be needed to be done in order for them to have the power over the people, they will do it without feeling bad. And that is what they're doing to the human race. So now this message which I'm speaking, I'm sharing it with you, I'm sharing it with the human race, more in particular my race, which is the colored people. Because as someone who came out of the community, I am a product of my environment, and in the environment of growing up there, it is apparent and it is clear that my people, we need help. We need to be shown into the right direction. And these religions that we believe in for all these generations, it is clear that it is not helping. But it is not to say we must put away the books and not believe in what was taught to us, but we must take out that which we can use and put aside that which is no longer useful. And I know that it is not easy to do anything in order to change your life, to change the way you think. But by me posting these videos and sharing these messages, and not with a hope because I know I'm going to do it, with a vision and with a goal in mind, that as you see me on this screen here of this phone, and you see the background there, in time you will see that this physical image will change and the background of me will change, as it is my goal and it is my vision in life to be able to turn my back on society, turn my back on the matrix, turn my back on Babylon, where you won't actually need to work for money anymore, because that is the drive that the system is running on, for people to be distracted by chasing money, chasing earthly possessions, chasing foods. And in order for us to elevate to a higher thought frequency, we are going to need to detach ourselves from these things which is keeping us away from God. Like I said, all these things, the fluoride in the toothpaste, the fluoride in our waters, the genetically modified foods, the animals that we're eating that has been dead for weeks and months, all these things, it alters our DNA, it alters our genes, the proteins in our body, which regulates the functions of our cells. And our cells, our whole body is made up of cells. Each organ of yourself is made up of cells. The cells is in your blood, the cells is in your skin, the cells is in your bones. Your whole body is made up of cells. And when we consume these things, it is not naturally suited for our bodies, we alter our DNA and we alter our genes, because there is the study which we call epigenetics. It's called epigenetics. It is taught by this gentleman called Bruce Lipton. All these things that I'm talking to you about in these messages that I'm sharing, it is proven as I did my research. Hello, peace to the gods. Like as I said, that all these things that I'm sharing with you guys, and that I'm in the messages that I'm bringing across, it is not just things that I hear and suck out of my thumb. When I hear it, I do my due diligence to research this. And this gentleman, Bruce Lipton, he's making experiment with a petri dish. A petri dish is a little glass cup that looks like a lid, and then they put culture medium in there. A culture medium is like they put water in there, or they put blood in there, or they put whichever kind of chemical in there, and then they take a shell. Now this culture medium represents the environment of human beings, and the shell represents the human being in itself, because we as human beings, we are a shell of this living organism we call earth, or which we call earth. And each and every one of us, like a cell in your body, we have a function to perform on earth in order for earth to function and to sustain itself. And now when you take the shell and you put it into the petri dish, the ingredients in that petri dish, the stuff that has been put into that petri dish, the culture medium, will not change to accommodate that shell, but that shell in turn will change to fit into that petri dish, to fit into that stuff in that petri dish, to fit into the culture medium. So if that is cancer that is in there and you put that little shell in that cancer, that shell too will become cancer. If that culture medium in that petri dish is muscle cells and you put that other shell in there, that single cell will also turn to muscle cells. So what I'm trying to say that we as human beings, as we are all cells of this living organism we call Earth, when we are put into an environment, like we as colored people has been put into an environment of the Cape Flats or whichever situations we find ourselves in, then we become a product of that environment. And it's only a few of us that will make it out there. And even if you realize your dream of becoming so-called successful by earning a lot of money, by earning money to buy a car, a big house, that too, that is one of the options that the society is giving you, which life is actually a quantum field of countless possibilities, and the society only gives us a handful of possibilities of which you can reach and which they say is your full potential. Your full potential, as far as your mind can think, your body can follow there. So whichever you can see yourself becoming, it is only natural that your body will follow that, only if you believe in that fully and your focus is on it 100%. So what this gentleman is showing us, that whatever your cells is subjected to, your cells will be altered by that environment. So whatever you consume, and your cells come in contact with that and communicate with that foreign entity, your cells will accommodate itself to survive. It happened over decades, that whatever circumstances, whatever habitat, whatever environment humans find themselves in, they will adapt to that environment, both mentally and physically. You will see it in their physical form. They will either turn white or they will either turn black. Animals do it. They grow extra limbs on their body. It's natural, and it is designed so by the Almighty that cells will adapt to the environment in order for it to survive. So that is one of the reasons why I decided to change my diet and change my way of thinking and change my way of life. But after that, there is still things for you to detach yourself from, because as I said, you are influenced by your environment. So as long as you find yourself in this environment, you will be distracted, you will be influenced, you will be derailed, you will be tempted. And that too in itself, only that factors in itself will constantly be a distraction for you, in order for you to keep your mind away from the divine way of thinking. And that is why it is stated in the book and by God that you cannot serve two gods. You cannot serve money and God. To serve money is to serve. To serve money is to do the devil's work. We can think of it as we want. That is the truth. I'm telling it to myself as I'm sharing this message to you. As in this time and space, I'm finding myself in the same situation which you are. And I can guarantee you, and I will myself, that I will be able to elevate consciously and both physically out of the society where I don't need to work anymore. And that everything that I need, the universe, God, Allah, shall provide. So for us, by chasing money and working for money, our thoughts and our focus should be on this projects that we need to complete, on these functions that we need to do. Our focus is there, where else our focus should be on being in tune with nature, being in tune with God, serving Allah, as we say. And by serving Allah, serving God, you are actually serving yourself. So in me doing these things, by respecting my body and respecting what I'm putting into it, respecting what I'm putting into my mind, by doing that, I am serving God, because I myself, I am God like you are God, and we are not separate from each other. I stated this in my previous videos, that you should love your brother as you love yourself, and by doing that you are serving God. You must respect all life forms, and in that yourself you are serving God. You must proclaim the kingdom of God and share the message to wake up the others, and that in itself is serving God. But by doing all of this like I am doing and still going to work and serve and chase money, you are being divided. Your focus is being divided, your attention is being divided, and your energy is being divided. And that is not good enough for God. So I'm putting out these videos to show my people and to show all people that what I'm about to do is doable and it's possible. And it might not seem possible to you because you are looking at it from a subjective point of view. Be objective, open your mind. See if there's other ways to achieving things, and this will be possible for you to see this. Before I go, I want to give praise and honor to myself, to a reflection of my Grandmaster Chief Nature Boy, the Christ, for he is the one that sparked my mind, that came into this way of thinking. And I want to acknowledge him and give praise and honor to him and say that I'm thankful and grateful for the message that he is sharing with the world. I will leave you with that. I love myself.